What's up, everybody? Pastor Rob here, bringing you another 5-Minute Church. Welcome back, 5-Minute Church family. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to talk to you once again about gifts, and I want to talk about this idea of using our gifts without the Spirit of God and how scary of a thing that could be. I know for me, as somebody who's been preaching for 14 years, I've gotten pretty good at it. I can get up in front of people, I can talk, I can tell stories, I can make people laugh, I can make things interesting. And how scary of a thought is it that I can get up and preach the Word of God without the Spirit of God? And I know that for me, that's something that haunts me constantly, and I try to stay in tune with God. Please help me to stay close to you in this. And for you, maybe your gift isn't preaching and talking to people, but we all have gifts. We all have things that we're talented at. And when we're talented at something, it means that we're good at it. And it normally means that we can do it on our own strength. And our goal should be never to do things on our own strength, but should be to utilize the Spirit of God to push us forward and to make us even more powerful than we already are. I remember I used to take students to different countries on missions trips. And the message that I would constantly preach before we would go on these missions trips is that the only difference between us and other people who do nice things for less fortunate is the truth that we are bringing with us, the gospel that we are bringing. Do you know how many thousands of people go to other countries and bring food and bring gifts? But to do it without the Spirit is meaningless. To give people something that's only going to last for a moment, to give them water that will take away a thirst for a moment, to give them food that'll take away a hunger for a moment, to give them gifts that'll make them happy for a moment. In the great scheme of things, it's awesome, it's nice, but it does nothing for their eternity. And the gospel that we carry with us does something for people's eternities that changes lives forever. In the very same way, if we just use our gifts for here and now, if we just use what God gave us to just promote ourselves and to help people just for a moment instead of eternally, what good does it actually do? There's a passage in Matthew chapter 7 that just absolutely scares the heck out of me. And it says this, it says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? And in your name did we not drive out demons? And in your name did we not perform miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evil doers.'" Man, how confusing is that? Especially when we have passages like Matthew chapter 25, where it tells us that God separates the sheep and the goats. And he says to those who are sent off into eternal damnation, "When I was hungry, you gave me nothing to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me nothing to drink. When I was in prison, you did not visit me. When I was cold, you gave me nothing to wear." And we see this like distinction of, well, it's about what we do, and yet it's not about what we do, and yet it's about the Spirit of God. All of us have gifts, all of us are capable, and yet it's not always exactly what are you doing with it, it's are you doing something with it in the will of God? It's the most important thing that we could ever do. So my challenge for you today, 5-Minute Church, is I hope you understand that you're gifted. I hope you understand that you have talents. I hope that you've identified what those talents are. I hope you know exactly how God created you to be and who He created you to be. But I hope you never forget to utilize the Spirit in your life. I hope we never stop praying and asking that God would intervene. I hope we never stop asking God to show up, even when we know that we are capable and can do it ourselves. As a pastor, every time before I get on that stage, I go, "God, I know that I'm capable. I know that I can do this, but I don't want this to be about me, and I don't want it to be under my own strength. I want this to be completely about you." How are you doing that, church? Every single day in your life with the things that you are good at, are you inviting God in to work in it and through it? That's my challenge for you, and that was 5-Minute Church. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.